introduce to you Reverend Jackie Hawkins, and she is sort of our kind of associate ministry, but she's pretty regular here. We like her a lot.
Thank you, Sunshine. And oh my goodness, Dorothy, you have to stand again. And Jack.
Yes. Yes.
Come on. What beautiful, beautiful music. Aren't we blessed?
Yes.
Wow. Ah, there I am. It's working. The power to imagine. That is our topic today. So when we allow our minds to imagine, and we see our lives and the world as it was meant to be, we see beauty, we see abundance, we see goodness, we see peace. So now I'd like you to just take a moment, close your eyes, to imagine as our lives and the world were meant to be. I invite you to imagine your life, the world, as it was meant to be. See your life in all its beauty. See the world in its magnificence. See the abundance and goodness. And see the peace. See the peace. And so it is. When we take the time, even a few minutes, each day, to imagine life as it was meant to be, we invoke a power to transform. When I take the time to imagine my life as it was meant to be, I see only beauty and goodness. I see love and peace. I see the best in me. I see the best of me. I see the best me. You might be wondering, why don't you see the flawed you? Well, I don't see the flawed me because the true me is not flawed. The true me is love. The true me is joyful, faith-filled. The true me expresses the divine. Now, when you take the time to imagine your life as it was meant to be, you see only beauty and goodness. You see love and peace. You see the best in you. You see the best of you. You see the best you. Why don't you see the flawed you? Because the true you is not flawed. The true you is love. The true you is joyful, faith-filled. The true you expresses the divine. The imagination is that faculty of mind which images and forms. It is the power to shape and form thought. That's what the revealing word says. The revealing word, one of our metaphysical dictionaries. And the scripture that came to me when I read this definition from the revealing word was from John the 15th chapter, the first verse. And it says, I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. I am the true vine, and my Father is the vine grower. The I am, we know as the metaphysical name of the spiritual self, as distinguished from the human self. The spiritual self is the Christ, right? Yes. Taking the complete phrase, I am the true vine, can be interpreted to mean that just as a vine, whether it is a tomato plant, a grapevine, a squash, just as a vine is comprised of a stem which cannot stand unsupported and climbs with the aid of tendrils, the Christ is supported by the vine grower, God. The Christ is supported by the vine grower, God. One presence, one power. The tendrils that enable each of us to climb in our spiritual journey to express fully as the Christ are the faculties or spiritual powers that we have. Get that? We often refer to them as the 12 powers. These are our tendrils that are present for us to use so that we can reach the full expression of the Christ that we are. These tendrils or powers work together. We cannot accomplish our goals in being the full expression of the Christ without using all of them. Think about that. Think about all of the 12 powers, all of the tendrils. Therefore, the power to imagine is aided by our power to love, which is aided by our power of wisdom, which is aided by faith, which is aided by zeal, and so on and on. For example, one person may have expressed the initial divine idea to remodel the interior of this senior center. But it took more than that one person. It took all of the other person's ideas, tendrils, powers in the community. The power to imagine partnered with the power of zeal, the power of will, understanding, love, power, faith, renunciation, life, and order. It takes all of us. So while the senior center had a goal of remodeling the interior space, there was no one person or resource that accomplished the goal alone. There is never only one. It takes us all. Each person or factor involved in reaching the remodeling goal can be seen as a what? A tendril. A tendril, yes. A tendril. A support. And it took each tendril to climb the journey to the ultimate goal of a beautifully remodeled space that everyone could enjoy. But it began with the power to what? Imagine. Imagine. Again, the imagination, that power, that faculty of mind, which images and forms. It is the power to shape and form thought. The power of imagination is one of the 12 tendrils that each of us, as the true vine, can use to effectively journey in our Christ evolution. And so on a daily basis, how do you use this power? While we can use the power of imagination to effectively journey in our Christ evolution, we can also use it in ways that are not constructive. Each of us has a choice. Each of us has a choice to use our divine power of imagination for good or not. And during this time of challenge in our country and around the world, we have the opportunity to choose peace and nonviolence over actions that do not promote peace or nonviolence. Each of us has the opportunity to envision harmony. We have the opportunity to believe that it can be brought into reality. We have the opportunity to achieve it. As the saying goes, I did that. That's what I want. If you can see it and you believe it, you can what? Achieve it. Yes. If you can see it and you believe it, you can achieve it. Remember our co-founder, Myrtle Fillmore. Yes. Myrtle saw herself healed before she even began the deliberate 2-year process of talking to her body. There's a young Myrtle. And in her early days, she was riddled with tuberculosis. She was not expected to live for a very long time. However, Myrtle said, "I have other plans." Myrtle had other plans. She believed what she imagined. Testing.
Hello? It's on.
It's not on.
Right.
Testing. No. That's okay.
Lung power. Oh, we can hear you.
You can hear me, right?
Yes.
She believed what she imagined, and ultimately she achieved what she believed. She lived to be in her mid-80s when she was told that she would not live past 40. Her vision for healing was not only possible, it was inevitable. Because she saw, she believed, and she ultimately achieved.
Try the microphone. And now it's muted.
Testing.
Yes.
Okay.
See, believe achieve.
That's right. There you go. Hey, that's right. We believed, we achieved. Almost 20 years ago, I imagined that I could run a marathon. My granddaughter is there as a witness. Even though before then I had not walked more than a few city blocks. No kidding. But with the assistance of tendrils, with the assistance of trainers, with the assistance of friends who also believed that we could achieve.
Cool, very good.
I achieved. I don't know whether or not you can recognize me. It's the one up there with the big smile. But yes, I achieved because I understood what it took in order to see a goal, believe in that goal, and then achieve that goal. So what do you imagine for your life? Running a marathon? What is your goal? What is your dream? What do you see as possible for you? Each of us can envision harmony and peace in our world. Each of us can do that. We don't have to have lofty goals, but each and every one of us working as tendrils to assist in the achievement of a single goal of imagining what our world could be. We can achieve that. We have the opportunity to believe that it can happen in our lifetime. We have the opportunity to achieve it in our lifetime. And so we close today's lesson on imagination with a meditation by Reverend Linda Martella Whitsitt. I breathe into the center of my brain, between my ears and eyes. I flood my brain with the light of color of the midday cloudless sky, the palette of spiritual imagination. Every breath I take and every breath I release leaves me floating in the open sky of possibilities. Nothing can weigh me down. Nothing can inhibit the free expression of my divine imagination. Soaring in infinite space, all things are possible. Divine imagination is my spiritual name and true nature. I am a creator by divine design. I reach beyond assumptions and limitations, dreaming of magnificent possibilities. By the power of conception, I catch a marvelous idea of what I can be, what I can do, and what I can experience. I can tell that this idea is mine to express by its captivating appeal. I recognize in this idea the possibility of fulfillment that I have longed for. I am the spiritual power of imagination, claiming my divine identity. I call forth from within me my rightful divine capacities, pouring them out in fulfillment of my purpose. I have eyes to see the good within me. I have eyes to see the good around me. I have eyes to see the good path ahead of me. Whatever seems impossible, by my power of imagination, I declare all things are possible, and so it is. And so we let it be. And so together let us affirm. Together, I allow my mind to imagine, and I see my life and the world as it was meant to be. Peaceful, good, bountiful, and beautiful. And so it is. Blessings.
And this is a time of our